All right, good morning, everyone. This is Thad from the Reference and Readers Advisory Department at the Rawlings Library in Pueblo, Colorado. And thanks for joining me for this April 1st virtual program. Um, this is something new that I'm first just trying in the virtual setting, but would like to make this a gathering that we could do in the community. I believe there's something similar to this out in Pueblo West, but I'd like to do something in town and putting together a little trading card program or club where folks can come and share their trading cards. And it's something that um, I'm looking at as not just um, focused on one sport or sports in general, but all sorts of things. Pokemon cards, Magic cards, whatever card that folks get really excited about and want to share. That's what I want to try and foster here. And so, stay tuned. That is something we'll try to um, do, and once we have a good space for that. Anyways, today, though, since with the time of year it is, and since there will indeed be a baseball season this year, I'm gonna do a little virtual showing of or sharing of just some cool baseball cards, and maybe this will awaken a little nostalgia in you. It sure does for me. A lot of these cards aren't the same ones from when I was a kid. I unfortunately don't have those anymore, but have been able to reacquire some uh, recently and be able to take that stroll down memory lane. But before I start showing you cards, what I'd like to share are some items in our collection that you can check out if you are a baseball lover. We're going to start with this book, The Year of the Pitcher. If I butcher this author's name, Siddhar Papu. But this is about specifically 1968. Bob Gibson, Denny McLain. Bob Gibson was known for his low ERAs, but really set a high, or in this case, low bar um, uh, for ERA, earned run average over an entire season, where I think he finished with a 1.12 earned run average, which nobody's um, hit since 1968. And then Denny McLain's season for the Detroit Tigers. Another book here is about the 1951 shot heard around the world between it was a pennant game, clinching game between the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers. But this is an autobiography by Ralph Branca of the Dodgers. He's the man who threw that pitch that would be known as the shot heard around the world. We have a great biography here about Stan the Man Musial by George Vesey. This was a really great read. Learned a lot of interesting things about Stan Musial and about how in his later life he would spin the world touring with. Um, he developed a little entourage of kind of hanging out with the Pope. I can't recall which Pope. I want to say John Paul II, but I may not have that right. And then author James A. Michener kind of became a little friend group. And then autobiography of Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, just some of his stories that he shares about his career. Um, Definitely one of the greats. And then another favorite of mine that I've read is The Last Boy about Mickey Mantle by Jane Levy. And she's done some other great baseball autobiographies. She has a great one about Sandy Koufax and then a more recent one about Babe Ruth. But this was a great read and learn about the great player, but also um, kind of the troubled life and on and off field issues, but also just the great talent he was. And then, and one I wasn't able to pull, but I would recommend is about Roberto Clemente. I think it's by David Marinus, but that's a great one. Anyways, we also have some great DVDs. I didn't grab the whole collection of these, but this is one of the volumes of the baseball documentary by Ken Burns. This is amazing, and Ken Burns documentaries in general are just terrific. Even if you're not into or into baseball, I would check out other Ken Burns documentaries, which we also have. And then a few of my favorite films. So I grabbed 42 about Jackie Robinson. Portrayal of Jackie Robinson by the late great Chadwick Boseman. Um, this is a great depiction of his steps into integrating or being the first um, uh, African American to play in Major League Baseball. And then a couple Kevin Costner classics here. So, of course, you have Field of Dreams, kind of required viewing if you like baseball films. And then my personal favorite, Bull Durham. Um, Kevin Costner, Susan Sarandon, Tim Robbins. Just great baseball flick, great comedy, just all around great film. And so now I'll share some of my collection. So first, a recent finding was a Shohei Ohtani card, who is looking like one of the next greats in the game. And this is from a 2021 set, but they fashioned it to look like a 1986 Topps. It's kind of got a cool chrome appearance to it. And also last year's American League MVP. Um, Kind of spread some of these out. This is relevant since he was just elected into the Hall of Fame this past year and then had his number retired by the Rockies. But Larry Walker, most of these are Expos cards. These first three here different rookie cards of his from different brands, and then just some of his other cards. Oh, that's a rookie too, and then a couple of his Rocky cards as well, including this one that's also fashioned like a 1986 Topps. And I just pulled a selection. I don't want to sit here and show too many things, but another favorite, you have a current Rockies star, Charlie Blackman, including his rookie card there. I think that's a 2011 Topps. One there that looks like a 1972 Topps. And then also 86 Topps. And let's see. Sorry, kind of fumbling here. And then the Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr., just a handful of his cards. And a lot of these are kind of focused on the late 80s and early 90s, but these are not reprints. These are actual, like this isn't a reprint of an 87 Topps. That's an actual 87 Topps bought from found an old pack that I bought, an actual 89 Fleer. Let's see, try and do just a few more. Controversial player, but I think you can't tell the story of the game without him. But I have a handful of Barry Bonds cards here. Love him or like him, I'm not a huge fan, but once again, as mentioned, it's hard to tell the story of the game without him. Uh, we'll just do a couple more here. Another one that would become a Rockies legend, Andres Scalaraga, is his rookie card from the 86 Topps. Not a reprint. 87 Topps. Most of these are from his Expos days. Um, One there, it has the Rockies logo, but it's his uniform from his 1 year with the Cardinals. Sorry, quick drink of water. All right, and then a couple from his Rockies playing days. I don't have anything beyond that. And we'll just do a couple more. Uh, the late great Kirby Puckett, Minnesota Twins legend, World Series hero. Favorite of mine as a kid, Ivan Rodriguez or Pudge. I would argue one of the greatest catchers of all time. And my all-time favorite, Todd Helton, draft pick card, and then I think this is his rookie card, and then a couple from later in his career. And then we'll go ahead and end with everyone's favorite from when I was a kid and still an all-time favorite, Ken Griffey Jr. And this right here, his 1989 Fleer rookie card. And once again, not a reprint. It's the real McCoy. And then just a couple of his others from early in his career. I do have a bunch of his cards from when he was with the Reds, but I just want to kind of focus on his prime with the Mariners. So thanks for joining in. Something new. Welcome to feedback on this, but this is something that I'd like to try and do in person, so you're not just sitting here watching me thumb through cards, but so we can all share them together. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for joining me this morning. This was actually a lot of fun. I was a little nervous about doing it, but and yeah, definitely check out some of these items. And there's many more different biographies and autobiographies, or just books about different parts of the game, um, different films. We do have a vast collection. There are some lists that I made a couple years ago at the onset of COVID. You can find on our catalog. I think one of them is called Miss Baseball, Me Too. That's from at the onset of COVID, but it just gives a list of books and films, both available as physical copies, but also through our digital resources, Hoopla and uh, the Cloud Library, Overdrive, Freeding, um, all of those resources. But thanks for spending a little time with me this morning, and have a good remainder of your Friday. Take care.